now I would formally like to begin this program. And first of all, distinguished guests, contributors, NAPA executives, past and present executives, all the members, NAPA members, program participants, and all distinguished guests. I would like to welcome you on this very long awaited program. हामीले चाहिँ यसलाई करिब करिब अक्टोबर 15, 2016 मा जुन दिन डाक्टर रसालीले नापामा यो फुड सेक्युरिटीको बारेमा चाहिँ टक दिनुभएको थियो, त्यो दिनदेखि नै मैले यसको चाहिँ यो किताबको बीजारोपण भएको भन्ने मैले सम्झिन्छु। त त्यो दिनदेखि नै देखि अहिलेसम्म आउँदा हामीले धेरै पानीहरू बगाइसकेका छौँ। Anyway, so I would like to welcome every one of you in this great and historic event in NAPA's history. And यति भन्दै म चाहिँ especially हाम्रो opening remarks को लागि चाहिँ अगाडि बढ्छु र formally यो प्रोग्रामलाई चाहिँ ओपन गरिदिनु हुनको लागि चाहिँ डाक्टर उमा कार्की she is one of the editors of this book publication committee, and at the same time she is she's the leader team. I mean, she's the lead of one of the book chapters of this book. सायद अब हामी सबैजना नमिलेको भए अथवा मिलेर काम नगरेको भए आजको दिनसम्म हामी आउन पाउँदैन थियौँ होला. I feel so honored, so proud of all the team members, all the contributors. And I would like to request Dr. Uma Karki for formal opening of this program. Dr. Karki, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bhandari. And namaste to everyone who are present in this book launching program. I also see Dr. Shanti. Welcome, Shanti Johnson. She also worked with us for some time, although she couldn't complete the whole entire book project. So I am extremely happy and extremely excited to be a part of this historic book launching event today. And I welcome everyone who are in this event participating from throughout the world. I would like to express my warm welcome to you all. So this project wouldn't be possible if there was no NAPA. And I would like to just give a little thanks and just remember how it was successful. And we are today in this morning celebrating this one. The leadership who brought the concept and provided the steady leadership who put the team together. And without that, we wouldn't be working together. After that, many of us who serve in the editorial team, basically our chief editor-in-chief, Dr. Drona Rasali, and co-editor-in-chief, Dr. Prem Bhandari. He also served as the managing editor, and he played a pivotal role in making this project the ultimate success. Without him being there, I cannot imagine whether we would be gathering this morning and talking about it and launching the book project. Thank you, Dr. Bhandari, from the NAPA team as well as my personal behalf. So this book, all of you know, principles and practices of food security, sustainable, sufficient, and safe food for healthy living in Nepal, which is not only just producing, but also how to distribute and how to eat those agricultural products to be healthy, which is the ultimate concept of the food security. Just having plenty of food doesn't give the entire concept of the food security. So I also would like to thank all the authors who contributed to this different chapter. I also had a chance to lead one chapter, and I would like to thank all my co-authors for that contribution. So we all, because of all the contribution of the editors, the leadership, as well as the author, this book has been come out as a product of NAPA family, NAPA team, and now we have the challenge to convert this book into the reality for the farmers, for students, for scientists, for different professionals, to apply all the concept, all the knowledge we have presented, all the author have presented in this book, to bring into the field of the farmers, to the classroom of the different colleges and universities, or even at the school. If we cannot do it, just publish the book and sitting in the shelf. What we have envisioned that it will be applied in the field of farmers. It will be taught in the classrooms, and it will be making a big impact in the food security, especially in Nepal, but it can also be applied in different countries throughout the world, for which all the NAPA entire family, all the well-wishers, as well as the NAPA community, the farmers in Nepal, all the students, scientists, professionals, all, we need their help and support to bring this book into practice and improve the food security of Nepal as well as the whole world. So again, I thank you everybody who contributed to this book, and I also expect from the NAPA team for your support to make this book, the ultimate impact of this book and the food security of the Nepali community, as well as those community who are in need throughout the world. And welcome again to this book launching program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karki. Very nice and kind words and all the very brief summary of the book and the team as well. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request editor-in-chief of this book, Dr. Rasali, whose vision and guidance and supervision has made this possible to come thus far. And without much saying about him and his role and the whole book, I would turn towards Dr. Rasali to speak something about this book. Dr. Rasali, please.
Thank you, Dr. Prem Bandari. Mr. President, current President and past President, distinguished guests, all the people who are associated with making of this book, as well as all the participants of this program. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. More importantly, also, I would like to thank the NAPA executives, NAPA as an organization, who gave me this opportunity to lead this project to fruition, which came to be now a reality. When it was envisioned, it was a long way to go, writing a book. I will be presenting my deliberation here as a part of editorial remark. So I would like to share the screen. Sharing the screen, I'll go to the slide. So, yeah, Dr. Uma Karki has already alluded about the formation of this book and outcome. However, I would like to give more, a little bit of in-depth information what went in the making of this book. For that reason, I'm actually supported by all our editorial board members, Dr. Prem Bandari, Professor Uma Karki, Professor Megha Prajuli, Dr. Ram Acharya, Dr. Raju Adhikari. basically, at this moment, we are in the midst of a global pandemic of unprecedented level. At the same time, food insecurity has been one of the biggest epidemics ongoing in the world in a silent way. And it is expressed in terms of rampant hunger of calories, protein, micronutrients, and importantly, the ability to make choices of food. The sustainability and sufficiency, safety, and healthy foods, affordability, and right to access them are essential aspects of the food security in the 21st century. We are no longer in the past. We are in 21st century. It's not just about feeding people. It is about how and what to feed. They constitute the key components of a complex food system of Nepal as well. And as we understand, as we know, the country, what used to be once a net exporter of food, is now a net importer of the food. The country's food supply chain continues to face challenges across the diverse dimensions of geographic, agroclimatic, and socioeconomic conditions across the country. And as Dr. Bhandari alluded earlier in the beginning itself, the idea of this book actually emerged from NAPA's maiden online talk session, which was initiated by NAPA and presented by myself on October 15, 2016. However, food security has been one of the priority areas of NAPA right from its inception until now. So it is at the it is at the heart of NAPA's The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, defines food security as a situation that exists when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. In our book, right from the beginning, we have been emphasizing the last part of this definition, which is the food preferences for an active and a living, healthy life, which has been ignored in most of the time in many programs of food security, where only food supply has been the core function. Three priority areas, priority-oriented goals described in a cooperation signed between Government of Nepal and the United Nations FAO were to enhance sustainable agriculture production and productivity, marketing and consumption of the eradication of hunger and malnutrition, to enhance natural resource management, agricultural production system, making them resilient to climate change and disasters, and also to relate to inclusive and gender responsive livelihood and enhancement and poverty reduction. We had made consideration of all these three areas, especially focusing on the last point, which is inclusion and gender responsiveness. Why is this book necessary now? There are many books around the world available online and also hard copies on food security written. Even in Nepal, there is no dearth of any books. There are quite a few books published in food security. Why is this book necessary? Actually, NAPA and its the book organizers, book makers, consider the complexities of agriculture-dependent food security consideration in Nepal. As a result, the scientists and academics of NAPA and their colleagues around the world realize a gap existing in knowledge translation of vast scientific data and information, integrating production systems, production and post-harvest processing, and marketing and utilization of food. And also it is for a broader food security than just providing food for subsistence. This, we realized this as a result. We thought the book would be a good fit. when we publish a book, we need to know the audience, who is going to read it. The envisioned target readership actually includes quite a few. It's written in a very broad level, but at a little bit higher academic level as well. Primary focus was on the faculty and graduate level students of food security and food systems who would use this as a textbook as well as reference book. We also thought of planners, policymakers, and decision makers at various levels of governments under the federal structure of NAPA. And non-governmental organization program officers, they frequently use some of the programs related with food security. They would be benefiting this. Agriculture officers and food economics. Civic leaders and intellectuals, even elected civic leaders can benefit from them because this gives a lot of concepts they could consider. Food industries, producers, retailers, and suppliers, food hospitality stakeholders, all those who would benefit from the knowledge and skills gained from the book for improving Nepal's food security situation. And what does the book contains? What does it bring to its readers? Basically, there are 18 chapters in the book, classified under 4 main sections. First section contains general and socioeconomic issues of food security. That contains 7 chapters, bringing different perspectives of socioeconomic issues of food security in Nepal. And second section has sustainable agricultural production for food security, containing 5 chapters covering various aspects of agriculture for food production. In many other countries, food doesn't necessarily come always from agriculture. It could be come from ocean. It could be coming from somewhere else. However, in Nepal, it is almost absolutely agriculture is the basis for food production. For that, it is key important that how the food is produced. And another section is food safety regulation, healthy eating, climatic change impacts. This is a special focus of the book, basically, which are generally ignored in most of the food security texts and reading materials. So it contains 3 dedicated chapters. And we had opportunity to include 2 technologies of specialties. Basically 2, I've written here 3, that's the typo error. 2 specialty technologies which might have promise in the future. So after all, what is new in this book? It is actually an integrated package of knowledge for Nepal, including food security framework beyond the hunger of calories, world views of socioeconomic aspects of food security, food insecurity in vulnerable populations such as women, children, seniors, Dalits, and indigenous people with a lens of social justice and equity. Then another aspect this book contains is sustainability and sufficiency in agriculture-based food production, food safety, of course, and especially healthy eating for preventing or reducing the burden of non-communicable diseases in the society. And also it has one dedicated chapter on climate change impacts on food security, which is an emerging issue. And as I mentioned earlier, a couple of futuristic examples of specialty technologies are also included. So who made this book possible? Professor Uma Karki has already alluded, who contributed in a larger scale, but I'm detailing it out here. This book is basically the work of the following volunteers. This book is a voluntary work. This is not a paid work. It is a lot of voluntary hours. Thousands of volunteer hours have been spent by 49 expert authors and co-authors from across continents, especially from USA, Nepal, Canada, and Australia. 20 chapter reviewers have given their time to review the chapters written by individual group of authors. And there are 6 members of editorial team members. And as Dr. Uma Karki mentioned, Dr. Prem Bhandari's dedication is very much noted. without managing day-to-day work and organizing and keeping everyone on toes, this book would not have been possible. And there are 4 testimonial writers of high repute from Nepal and United States, and 3 plagiarism reviewers. And there are 3 forward preface writers from distinguished personalities, and there are 2 copy editors. And as Dr. Uma Karki mentioned, I would also like to make a special mention of Dean Professor Dr. Santi Johnson. She was supposed to be one of the editors. She was going to help us. What happened was she had to take an additional responsibility of Dean of School of Population and Public Health in University of Alberta, and her time was not available. For that reason, she could not be one of the editors. However, we consider her as one of the key person in this making of this book. And above all, NAPA executive team led by Dr. Leela Karki throughout the process, and now led by Megha Prajuli, has been very crucial in the making of this book. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Rasali. This is a wonderful summary of this book, the whole book, and how the story began from the beginning to the end until today. So this is a nice summary. And this shows that if we work together, we can make a difference. And physical distance doesn't matter. Wherever we are, if we are willing, we can work together. So thank you, Dr. Rasali, once again for a brief summary of this about this book. And one country missing is in your list is from Japan. Actually, our co-authors and co-authors, they are also located in Japan. And next, I am going to welcome and invite Dr. Luni Joshi, Luni Pia, to provide some experience when you are working as an author, lead author of this, one of the chapters of this book. I would like to welcome Luniji. Please, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Wandari sir. Our respected members of the NAPA Book Publication Editorial Board, reviewers, fellow authors, and everyone involved and is present here today with us for the book launch program. Namaste. And global greetings, because we are global participants here. Good morning to those in the US and Canada. If there's anyone from the Europe, would be good afternoon. Good evening to those in Nepal and Australia. And here in Japan, we are very close to midnight. So the Japanese greetings would be konbanwa. I'm grateful for this opportunity today, for allowing me to put forth a few words on behalf of the authors. Firstly, I do believe that this book is a significant contribution in the arena of food security, particularly in the Nepalese context. And looking from the table of contents, I can see that the issue of food security has been dealt from multiple disciplines, like the socioeconomics, microeconomics, institutional economics, emerging technologies, global environmental changes, production sciences, consumption, distribution, nutrition aspects, and of course the relevant regulations and policies. So this multidisciplinary contribution, I believe, is the major strength and novelty of this book. And I have to say, I am proud to be a part of it. Speaking of author's experience, which ought to be the major topic for my part today, in summary, this has been a very positive journey. The feedback from the editors started right from the abstracts, and this really helped in the effective development of the manuscript. And later on, when the anonymous reviewers' comments came in, the comments were very constructive and up to the point, and these reviews were indeed very vital to update the manuscript in terms of contents and in terms of the arguments that the authors were trying to put forth in the chapters. In addition to these rounds of reviews from the reviewers in terms of contents, there also were additional rounds of quality check and language edits, which contributed to make the manuscript very concise and crisp in terms of the presentation. And also the editorial board was very supportive in facilitating the communication between those reviewers or quality checks and the authors. So we, or at least my team, we believe that the final manuscript is really in a great shape, both in terms of contents as well as the write-ups. Having talked about these good experiences, I think it is also equally important to talk about a very minor hiccup that came to my team at the end of the publication process. The name of my co-author has been misspelled in the table of contents. We are yet to receive the book, so we don't know if the mistake exists in the book chapter as well. So in this context, I would like to recommend for future projects that before moving on to final publishing, it would have been great if the authors were provided the final press copy for proofreading. And this would have eliminated the possibilities of minute errors that miss the eyes of the hardworking editors. So I'm not criticizing all the efforts that has been put in by the team. It has been a great overall experiences, as I already said. So please don't take this comment as a criticism. I decided to put forth this comment in today's presentation so that this will be a learning approach for all of us for future projects. All of us who are present here today might be a part of our editorial board in some publication in the future. So I believe that this experience would be helpful. I'm sure the book will be read by a multitude of audiences in all the countries around the globe, ranging from academicians to development agencies to policymakers. And I myself eagerly look forward to acquiring a copy of the book and reading all the chapters therein. With this, I hereby end my words for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lunaji. Thank you for your succinct and very nicely worded comments and feedback to us. These are very, very helpful to us. And just to respond to your last part of the query, we are trying to, and but we thought maybe if we send back to the authors again, and it will take a couple of months and years. So we just kept with us, and sorry about that. We tried our best to make it as clean as possible. And anyway, this is error, and we'll try our best to minimize those errors in the days to come. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your nice words and comments. And now I would like to turn towards a reviewer's perspective from Dr. Devendra Gausan. Actually, he is not only the reviewer of chapters, but he is also a co-author of one of the chapters in this book. He has been he has been with us from the very beginning and consistently working and responding to us in various ways. I would like to request Dr. Devendra Gausan to share his experience as a reviewer through a reviewer's eye. Please, Dr. Gausan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhandari. Namaste, Sabalai. Good morning, good evening from Nepal. Of course, good morning for US and North Canada. Maybe Japan, very late night. Well, distinguished NAPA family members, participants, ladies and gentlemen, indeed it is an honor and great privilege for me to be part of this virtual big, global book launching event. Thank you, NAPA and the organizer, for giving me this opportunity to express my views on behalf of the whole reviewers. Well, Dr. Bhandari already mentioned that I am not only reviewers, but also contributed as one of the co-author in one of the book chapters. Let me express my short views on the review process, because the review is what I have been given the opportunity to talk on. Indeed, reviewing article is not very easy, particularly in this complex interdisciplinary field, an applied field like food security. It's not like reviewing this very narrowly narrow disciplinary, one disciplinary aspects. However, I really enjoyed very much by reviewing many of these articles. I reviewed a few of the articles in the book chapters, which was very much informative. It helped me to update very good information and knowledge on my part. This was very interesting for me as well because of my interest and experience in this area. Despite, it consumed a lot of time, free time available for families and friends, I really enjoyed it. So with respect to process of review, what I understood, it is a blind review because the authors were not known to us for the reviewer. I'm not sure whether it is single blind, double blind, or triple blind. Our editors might know it very well. So anyway, for me, it was very, I did not know, the author's name anonymous to us. So it was very helpful to reduce impartiality, what we call, professional or personal biases. So, and also with respect to guidelines provided by NAPA editorial committee, it was very comprehensive, elaborative, and well designed with so many checklists. And there were 9 very specifically designed questions where reviewer had to put their written feedback, providing a lot of explanation, justification for rejection, or even for critics and comments. So this was very, very comprehensive. Though I had some experience and I have been reviewing some of the important international high impact journals, but as compared to those journals, also this NAPA book review, guidelines were very much comprehensive and informative. I like it very much, despite it consumed a lot of time because we had to put a lot of feedbacks for the in the specific questions. There were 9 questions and a lot of other checklists, and we have done. I think that was very useful for the editors and back to the authors, which helped to improve the process of reviewing the article. So the process of reviewing itself is very much rigorous, I should say it. And it has maintained very good integrity and ethics during the process of review. And also what I found is my experience, because reviewing process also was a part of the scientific communications in advance to the peer review groups. It also helped to advertise the content and quality of the papers in advance to peer group, globally. Those who were able to review, they already knew it, what is the quality and content of the book chapters. So though I'm not gone through all the book chapters, I haven't had that opportunity, but I am pretty sure that the book chapters are well maintained, the quality is very well maintained, and I'm very much confident that it has maintained very good academic integrity and professionalism. So therefore, I definitely very much recommend for this book. It is not only a useful research book for students and academicians, but also useful for policy and planners. It's a very comprehensive, and this has come very in an important time of the period. I mean, where the whole world and particularly Nepal, we have been grappling with the severe crisis of food insecurity due to COVID-19 case and climate change. So it has come in right time, and this is very good book. So finally, on behalf of the reviewers, well, maybe there are many reviewers, Dr. Manarian others are presented. So on behalf of them, I take this opportunity to congratulate editors, the authors, and the whole NAPA, family for this great visible and tangible outputs, and also contribution to society. I'm proud of being associated with this NAPA family, and very much happy to somehow being able to contribute in this process. Thank you very much. Thank you, NAPA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Golson, once again for your very detailed review and expression of your thoughts about this book review process. We tried our best to make it as high quality as possible, but I know there are always some errors, but we will learn from these experiences. अब चाहिँ हाम्रो now the formal book launching event is now here. हामी चाहिँ हाम्रो senior guru, हाम्रो NAPA advisor who has loved us, who has guided us, and who has been a part of this NAPA from day one. And I would like to request Professor Dr. Nanda Joshi to officially launch this book so that our readers can have this book in their hands and read through. Please.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see, but what about many of other participants? I can see you very, very well. That's all.
It's very clear.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Thank
see.
Should I say something before or after the launch? I will do the launch and then maybe I get 2 minutes to say something.
Please
After
go
the
ahead.
launch.
Whatever. Okay.
All right. Here is a formal opening.
Let's make clapping a little bit louder, please.
That's a few words on the intro. We'll take it as that's all.
Okay.
Hazur.
We have 2 minutes.
Hazur, please.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate the NAPA family as a whole to come up with this milestone in publishing an academic book, which is very timely. Special thanks to the editorial team led by Dr. Dronald Rasali, which has really I scanned through this in only the topics and so forth. It appeared to me that who is who in Nepalese agriculture are all involved in some way or other, one way or other. So whether it's globally. So I think really this is really big achievement and milestone for NAPA. I congratulate Dr. Leela Karki, Uma Karki, and now Dr. Meg Parazuli for taking this mantle. And I'm hoping that there'll be many more books will be coming up in future. And I already saw some comments box that somebody asking about what's the next phase? Are we going to do the second phase or some other program? So I think we are in the right track. I think I'm really honored to be part of this launch ceremony. And I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And as I mentioned, I've been with NAPA from the very day one. So I saw this is growing so fast. I'm really happy to acknowledge this achievement to Dr. Leela Karki and the team that put together. And I'm sure this will go further with Dr. Meg Parazuli's leadership and his team. So with that, I really appreciate and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. हजुरको guidance, supervision, love, सबैको कारणले गर्दाखेरि we are moving forward. हाम्रो यो सँगसँगै हाम्रो के कार्यक्रम छ भने नेपालबाट हाम्रो केशव धितालजी हुनुहुन्छ. उहाँले he has taken a lot of pain to get the print, and we wanted to हामी चाहिँ actual print चाहिँ कस्तो देखिन्छ किनभने हामीले अहिलेको सिचुएसनले गर्दाखेरि अमेरिकामा त्यो किताब ल्याउन सकेनौँ र हामीले राष्ट्रबाट त्यसलाई चाहिँ अफिसियली लन्च गर्यौँ. त सँगसँगै नेपालमा भएको हाम्रो एक्चुअल कपी चाहिँ कस्तो देखिन्छ भनेर हामी वी आर ट्राइङ टु सो द्याट केशवजी तपाईँ त्यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ?
सर नमस्कार, सबैलाई नमस्कार सर.
हजुर, देखाउनुहोस् त किताब एकपटक सबैजनालाई. हाम्रो एक्चुअल किताब चाहिँ यो हो र ब्याक एन्ड फोर्थ सबै देख्नुहुन्छ? हजुर. र अहिले यी सबै किताबका भलुमहरू चाहिँ नेपालमै छन् र हामी बिस्तारै ल्याउने कोसिसमा गर्नेछौँ. केही कुरा र केही चाहिँ नेपालमा डिस्ट्रिब्युसन गर्नेछौँ. हस्, थ्याङ्क यू केशव भाइ, थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच. Now I would like to move a bit forward. र यो किताबलाई चाहिँ यहाँसम्म ल्याउन सुरुवाती दिनदेखि अहिलेसम्म पनि हामीलाई धेरै तरिकाले चाहिँ सपोर्ट गर्ने र लिडरसिप लिने काम चाहिँ डाक्टर लीला कार्की, who was then president of NAPA, and now he is past president. But from day one, he has been very helpful and very inquisitive, and he very supportive to bring this forward. I think without his contribution here, without his support, we would not be, of course, here. So I would like to request Dr. Leela Karki to say something about your experience and also offer a vote of thanks to the contributors. Dr. Karki, please.
धन्यवाद डाक्टर भण्डारी। उपस्थित आजको यो बुक विमोचन नापा बुक विमोचन कार्यक्रममा उपस्थित हाम्रो आदरणीय गुरुवर्गहरू, सायद अरु पनि कोही हुनुहुन्छ कि नन्द सर बाहेक, र सम्पूर्ण उपस्थित महानुभावहरू, यहाँहरू सबैलाई एकदमै हार्दिक नमस्कार। अब धेरै कुराहरू अगाडिको वक्ताहरूबाट आइसकेको हुनाले सकेसम्म म त्यसलाई नदोहोऱ्याइकिन आफूले केही टकिङ पोइन्ट्सहरू यहाँ बनाएको छु, म त्यो बारेमा एकदमै द्रुत गतिमा यहाँहरूसँग शेयर गर्ने अनुमति चाहन्छु। Thank you, Dr. Rasali, who delivered the very first NAPA talk. That was on October 15, 2016. The talk was about securing sufficient, safe, and healthy food, and that talk, talk session बाट चाहिँ यो किताबको बीजारोपण भएको कुरा अगाडि पनि आइसक्यो। मैले फेरि त्यसलाई इको गर्न चाहे। Thank you for that concept. And हामीले चाहिँ त्यो कन्सेप्टलाई भ्यालिडेट गर्यौं with after so many rounds of internal interaction with the core groups. Then finally we went to the executive committee and we approved the concept, writing a book focusing on three major areas: food security, food safety, and food self-sufficiency. अनि अब त्यो काम कसरी अगाडि बढ्ने अथवा बढाउने भन्ने सन्दर्भमा त्यसपछि हामीले चाहिँ एडिटोरियल बोर्ड बनायौं, र त्यो एडिटोरियल बोर्ड चाहिँ सकेसम्म हामीले इन्क्लुसिभ from various aspects, disciplines, त्यसपछि gender, geographic area, and expertise को आधार मेजर आधार मानेर हामीले चाहिँ त्यो एडिटोरियल बोर्ड बनायौं। त्यसपछि हाम्रो यो कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ कस्तो भयो त्यतिखेर भनेदेखि, this is my personal thought. I never shared this one with other friends. Please bear with me. I was just drawing this thing this morning. हाम्रो यो नापा को किताब पब्लिश गर्दाखेरि नापालाई कस्तो इम्प्याक्ट आउँछ भन्ने सन्दर्भमा अब हाम्रो नापा को स्टेटस त छँदैछ डिनोटेड बाइ हियर ए। यदि हामीले किताब पब्लिश गरेनौं भने पनि हाम्रो नापा को इम्प्याक्ट अथवा नापा को भिजिबिलिटी त definitely grows, but in a steady pace, which is denoted by B here. अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामीले यो नापा किताब चाहिँ पब्लिश गर्यौं भनेदेखि चाहिँ यसको इम्प्याक्ट चाहिँ थुप्रै आउँछ भन्ने हामीले चाहिँ अनुमान गर्यौं, र बेसिकली हामीले भेरिएबल्सहरु चाहिँ जति पनि लिन सकिन्छ मोटामोटी मैले यहाँ चाहिँ अब यसबाट जेनेरेट हुने रेभिन्यू, प्रोफेसनल डेभलपमेन्टको अपर्च्युनिटी, यो किताबको युटिलिटी, त्यसपछि अब नापा इटसेल्फको युटिलिटी, अनि त्यसपछि पोटेन्शियल नापा मेम्बर्सलाई चाहिँ अब नापा जोइन गर्ने विलिङनेस, त्यसपछि नापाको भिजिबिलिटी र क्रेडिबिलिटी, यो सबै भेरिएबल्सहरु चाहिँ डेफिनेटली बढ्छ। र त्यो विदाउट बुक पब्लिकेसन र विथ बुक पब्लिकेसनमा चाहिँ नापाको त्यसको चाहिँ बिग इम्प्याक्ट हुन्छ। त्यो इम्प्याक्टलाई चाहिँ हामीले क्याच गर्नुपर्छ भनेर चाहिँ हामीले यो कन्सेप्टलाई अगाडि सार्यौं। अनि त्यो कन्सेप्टलाई अब इम्प्लिमेन्ट कसरी गर्ने भन्ने सन्दर्भमा वी अडप्टेड स्मार्ट अब्जेक्टिभ, आई मिन पोलिसी टु फर्मुलेट आवर गोल। देन हाउ डु वी रिच टु द डेस्टिनेसन, त्यसपछि हामीले स्ट्राटेजिक एक्सन प्लान बनायौं। पहिलो चाहिँ हामीले अलि एम्बिसियस प्लान भएछ ओक्लाहोमा कन्फरेन्समा चाहिँ यो बुक लन्च गर्ने भन्ने हाम्रो ओरिजिनल प्लान त्यो थियो वी कुडन्ट मिट द्याट वान हामीले जस्ट एउटा डेमो मात्रै चाहिँ सेयर गर्न सक्यौं त्यस पछाडि हामीले त्यो डेडलाइन चाहिँ पुश गर्यौं 2019 को नापा एजीएम मा गर्ने भनेर त्यसलाई पनि somehow we couldn't meet and then we committed very strongly कि नापाको सेकेन्ड कन्फरेन्स एटलान्टामा चाहिँ बुक विमोचन गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ हामी त्यो हिसाबमा लाग्यौं र यो लाग्ने क्रममा चाहिँ थुप्रै एक्सन्सहरु चाहिँ अघि पनि आइसक्यो अगाडि a call for chapter with an abstract review, notification of abstract selection, call for full chapter, search for reviewers comments, and then resubmission of chapters. And the chapter about rounds and rounds of back and forth about editorial board plus lead author सँग चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै पटक चाहिँ त्यो ओरदोर भएर खारिँदै आएको थियो तर हामीले चाहिँ यसमा त्यो सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ थुप्रै च्यालेन्जहरु पनि हामीले चाहिँ के गर्यौं भने डिल गर्यौं र त्यो सबै च्यालेन्जहरुलाई चाहिँ हामीले एउटा लर्निङ अपर्च्युनिटीको रूपमा लियौं र सबैभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ इन हाउसबाटै हामीलाई थुप्रै क्रिटिसिजम आयो क्रिटिक आयो कि NAPA doesn't have that level of capacity, NAPA doesn't have that level of expertise to publish a book since NAPA was established just like even less than 1 year. However, हामीले चाहिँ त्यो हाम्रो एउटा अब्जेक्टिभबाट डेभिएट भएन र we kept on moving forward. र त्यो जसरी क्रिटिक आयो सुरुमा चाहिँ हाम्रो एक्सपेक्टेसन अनुसारको च्याप्टरहरु पनि सबमिसन भएनन् in terms of like presentation about the language code, especially content, the figures, tables, citations, references. There were so many inconsistencies and so on and so forth. त्यसले गर्दा मैले के भन्छु भने यो बुक आफैमा एकदमै पर्फेक्ट नहुन पनि सक्छ तर we tried our best सकेसम्म हामीले चाहिँ यो जीरो एरर चाहिँ जीरो गर्ने भन्ने हामीले चाहिँ जीरो टोलरेन्सको चाहिँ त्यो प्रिन्सिपल अडप्ट गरेको हो तैपनि सानोतिनो अब त्रुटिहरु हुन सक्छन् देयर इज अलवेज रूम फर इम्प्रुभमेन्ट अनि त्यसपछि हामीहरु फ्रस्ट्रेसन पनि भयौं थुप्रै समय अनि त्यसपछि हामीले चाहिँ फाइनली फेरि के पनि गर्दै आयौं भने यो च्याप्टरहरुलाई चाहिँ ग्रेडिङ गरेर दुई किसिममा दुईटा वर्गमा राख्ने र च्याप्टर जति ए क्याटेगोरीमा पर्छन् तिनीहरुलाई पब्लिश गर्ने अनि बाँकी चाहिँ सेकेन्ड भोल्युममा लैजाने कि भनेर पनि हामीले थुप्रै राउन्ड मन्थन गर्यौं र फाइनली वी बन्डल अफ एभ्रीथिङ एन्ड केम टु दिस पोइन्ट अब क्राइसिस पनि नआएको होइन हामीलाई थुप्रै क्राइसिस पनि हामीले वी रियलाइज वी एक्सपीरियन्स लाइक टाइम कन्स्टेन्ट दैट इज अनडरस्टुड सबै एडिटोरियल बोर्ड भित्र टाइम कन्स्टेन्ट थियो अनि ओभरलोड चाहिँ एकदमै इम्ब्यालेन्स पनि भयो कसैले एकदमै ठुलो भारी बोक्नुभयो कसैले अलि सानो हल्का भारी बोक्नुभयो दैट ह्यापेन्स इन ए भोलुन्टरी अर्गनाइजेसन दैट इज क्लियर अनि कमिटमेन्ट पनि एभ्रीवन डिडन्ट ह्याभ सेम लेभल अफ कमिटमेन्ट इभन विदिन द नापा एडिटोरियल बोर्ड दैट वाज रियलाइज्ड अनि त्यसपछि फिलिङ अफ ओनरशिपमा चाहिँ हामीले सबैको इक्वल ओनरशिप चाहिँ फिल हुन्छ भन्ने एउटा एक्सपेक्टेसन थियो त्यो पनि हुँदो रहेनछ यदा कदा चाहिँ त्यो सानोतिनो फरक लेभलमा फरक पर्दो रहेछ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि त्यो पनि हामीलाई एउटा क्राइसिसको रूपमा आयो त्यसपछि हामीले त्यो टिम स्पिरिटलाई एकदमै त्यसलाई सँगै लिएर जाने अगाडि बढाउने द्रुत गतिमा भनेर लाग्यौं तर कसैको चाहिँ अब खराएको गतिमा आयो कसैको चाहिँ कछुवाको गतिमा आयो फाइनल्ली वी रिच द डेस्टिनेसन वी क्रस द फिनिश लाइन अनि त्यसपछि अब हामी बिफोर सेन्डिङ टु द प्रिन्ट हाउस हामीलाई अब फेरि अब सबैजना 101 नेपालीहरु क्रिम प्रोफेसनल्सहरुले तयार गर्नुभएको च्याप्टरहरु भए तापनि हामीले चाहिँ एज आई मेन्सन हाम्रो चाहिँ एरर मिनिमाइज गर्ने भन्ने सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ जीरो एरर टोलरेन्सको चाहिँ हाम्रो एप्रोच थियो त्यसले गर्दा हामीले एकचोटी चाहिँ यो नेटिभ ल्याङ्ग्वेज स्पिकरलाई पनि दिनुपर्छ ल्याङ्ग्वेज कपी एडिटिङको लागि भनेर खोज्दै गर्यौं अनि अब कसैले थुप्रो पैसा भन्नुभयो अनि कसैको टाइम कन्स्टेन्ट भन्नुभयो फेरि हामीलाई एकदमै इमिडिएट चाहिएको थियो त्यसले गर्दा त्यसमा पनि हामीले थुप्रै अप्ठ्याराहरू चाहिँ अनुभव गर्यौं र फाइनली ल्याङ्ग्वेज एडिटरबाट एडिटिङ पनि भयो दैट वाज गुड अनि मैले यो यहाँहरुलाई सानो एउटा यो कन्जर्भेटिभ फिगर प्रस्तुत गर्न लागेको यो डेफिनेटली हामीले चाहिँ अब अहिलेको जुन पहिलो प्रकाशन छ यो प्रकाशनमा अलिकति बढी खर्च लाग्यो डिनोटेड बाई C1 तर हाम्रो चाहिँ यो डिमान्ड चाहिँ के छ भनेदेखि नापा बुकको डिमान्ड प्लस बुक सेल्स प्लस बुक रेभिन्यू दिस इज increasing in I mean very straight I mean very steep up त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो हाम्रो पहिलो प्रकाशनबाटै डिमान्ड चाहिँ फुलफिल हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्दैन अनि यो डिमान्ड इज विल गो इभन अप टु द लाइक एन्ड अफ सेकेन्ड रिप्रिन्ट still the demand will keep on increasing but at decreasing rate and maybe after we may have third reprint and maybe त्यस पछाडि मात्रै हाम्रो त्यो डिमान्ड चाहिँ अलिकति कर्भ अलिकति फ्ल्याट हुँदै जान्छ होला त्यसले गर्दाखेरि we have so much potential of this book and यो चाहिँ हामी सबैले महसुस गर्नुपर्ने एउटा कुरो छ र यो हरेक पटकको प्रकाशनमा डेफिनेटली हाम्रो प्रोडक्सन कस्ट चाहिँ पहिलाको भन्दा दोस्रोमा कम दोस्रो भन्दा तेस्रोमा कम हुन्छ भन्ने हामीलाई लाग्छ अब यो सबै बुक रेभिन्यूबाट हामीले आई मिन बुक सेल्सबाट जति रेभिन्यू जम्मा गर्छौं त्यो भन्दा चाहिँ डेफिनेटली हाम्रो यसको जुन टोटल युटिलिटी फंक्सन हो नापा बुकको अथवा नापा एउटा प्रोफेसनल अर्गनाइजेसन इटसेल्फको that is way high. We cannot compare with the revenue that we are going to generate. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ this book project has increased NAPA's credibility up to the top. So we should really celebrate and be proud of this achievement. But as of today, हाम्रो चाहिँ यो सयपत्री पुस्तक भण्डारको सहयोगमा अघि यहाँ मैले टेक्स्टमा पनि देखिरहेको थिएँ किताब कहाँ पाइन्छ भनेर यो सयपत्री पुस्तक भण्डारको सहयोगमा चाहिँ काठमाडौँमा 8 वटा यो पुस्तक पसलमा चाहिँ नापाको किताब अभाइलेबल छ अहिले चाहिँ हामीले डेमोको रूपमा हरेक पुस्तक पसललाई 5-5 वटा वितरण गरेका छौं सायद यहाँ चाहिँ यो दुईटा बिक्री भइसकेको हुनाले 3 वटा मात्र देखाउनु भएको छ मन्जरी बुक्स पुतली सडक पैरवी प्रकाशन पुतली सडक पैरवी बुक हाउस पुतली सडक हेरिटेज बुक्स भोटाइटी एकता बुक्स थापाथली रत्न पुस्तक भण्डार बागबजार अबिस पुस्तक भण्डार बागबजार र सयपत्री पुस्तक भण्डार पुतली सडक यो 8 वटा पुस्तक पसलमा चाहिँ हाम्रो किताब बिक्रीको लागि अभाइलेबल छ एनीवन फ्रम नेपाल क्यान रिजर्भ देयर कपी राइट आफ्टर दिस सेसन त्यसपछि हामीले यो रेभेन्यू जेनरेसन चाहिँ वी शुड ट्राई फ्रम भेरियस पर्सपेक्टिभ्स लाइक अनलाइन अन साइट इन्डिभिजुअल एन्ड इन्स्टिट्युसनल एन्ड देन वाट एभर अमाउन्ट वी जेनरेट हामीले चाहिँ सबभन्दा पहिला यो नापाको प्रोडक्सन कस्ट चाहिँ रिइम्बर्स गर्नुपर्छ बिकज द्याट मनी इज जेनरेटेड फ्रम मेम्बरशिप ड्युज त्यसपछि जति पनि हामीले रेभेन्यू जेनरेट गर्छौं त्यो चाहिँ नापाको अरु फ्ल्यागशिप प्रोग्राम सञ्चालन गर्नलाई खर्च गर्ने भन्ने एउटा सहमति अहिलेको नयाँ कमिटीले पनि बनाइसक्नु भएको छ द्याट इज भेरी एप्रिसिएटेड र त्यो रेभेन्यू चाहिँ हामीले इन्डाउमेन्ट फन्ड्स बढाउनलाई स्कलरशिपहरु दिनलाई त्यसपछि रिसर्च मिनी ग्रान्ट प्लस बुक रिप्रिन्टको लागि चाहिँ हामीले युज गर्नु पर्ने गर्दाखेरि राम्रो हुने देखिन्छ अब objective function चाहिँ एउटै हो हाम्रो we have to increase the sales volume of sales like it is not like 1 day or 2 day or 1 week effort we should keep on trying and to increase our sales and which is directly or positively correlated to the revenue amount that's why we have to really try hard to generate revenue at the maximum amount. And finally, I don't know how much time I have left, but this is my last talking point. Finally, अब यो यात्रा गरेर हामी यहाँसम्म आइसक्यौं. We are very proud of this accomplishment. र यो सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ directly, indirectly साथीहरु संस्थाहरु जति लाग्नु भएको छ एक्जिक्युटिभ कमिटी 2016-18 plus 18-20 को सम्पूर्ण साथीहरु त्यसपछि editorial board led by Dr. Drona Rasali who brought this idea and put forward by Dr. Bhandari. अब सबै साथीहरुले अघि डाक्टर भण्डारीको र डाक्टर रसाली लगायत सबै एडिटोरियल बोर्डको प्रशंसा गरिसक्नु भयो मैले धेरै भनि राख्नु पर्दैन तर मैले भनिन भने यो अपूर्ण हुन्छ इन्कम्प्लिट हुन्छ माइ टकिङ पोइन्ट त्यसैले I really congratulate Dr. Bhandari for your consistent hard work. तपाईँ यदि नभएको भएदेखि अथवा तपाईँ हाम्रो एउटा त्यो काम गर्ने त्यो केमिस्ट्री नमिलेको भए सायद यो किताब यो आज हाम्रो हातमा आइपुग्दैन थियो होला। हामीले चाहिँ यो किताब चाहिँ यो यहाँसम्म ल्याइ पुर्याउँदाखेरि यसलाई we considered this on the top. Even हाम्रो प्रोफेसनल जागिर भन्दा पनि यसलाई हामीले बढी समय दिएर लागेका हौं। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I really congratulate and thank you Dr. Bhandari and again Dr. Rasali who led this team, editorial board and all editors. त्यसपछि सम्पूर्ण authors, co-authors, सम्पूर्ण reviewers, त्यसपछि forward लेख्ने दुईजना विशिष्ट व्यक्तित्वहरू, त्यस्तै गरेर चारजना हाम्रो testimonials दिने साइन्टिस्टहरू, प्रोफेसनल्सहरू, त्यसपछि ल्याङ्ग्वेज एडिटर अनि यो प्लाजियरिजम चेकर्स चेक गर्ने साथीहरू, अनि त्यसपछि प्रिन्ट हाउस who trusted us. They printed like without giving any money. हामीले रिक्वेस्ट गर्यौं हाम्रो पैसा आउँछ, डोन्ट वरी, तर कीप अन मुभिङ फरवर्ड। अनि उहाँहरूले चाहिँ हामीलाई विश्वास गरेर किताब चाहिँ प्रकाशन गर्न अगाडि बढ्नुभयो, किताब निकाल्नुभयो। अहिले पनि सायद पैसा अलिअलि बाँकी पनि छ होला दिन। थ्यांक यू सो मच केशव भिताल, तपाईको एकदमै हामी प्रतिको विश्वासको लागि। त्यसपछि करेन्ट एक्जिक्युटिभ कमिटी जसले चाहिँ अब यो नापा बुक चाहिँ पहिलो हाम्रो इन्कम जेनेरेट गर्ने चाहिँ एउटा प्रोजेक्ट भयो र यसलाई र यो जस्तै अरु प्रोजेक्ट ल्याएर नापालाई चाहिँ फाइनान्शियली र इकोनोमिकली सस्टेनेबल बनाउने हाम्रो पहिलो सुरुवात भएको यो बुक प्रोजेक्टको जिम्मेवारी चाहिँ तपाईहरुको काँधमा छ र तपाईहरुले यसलाई अगाडि बढाउने एउटा कमिटमेन्ट गर्नुभएको छ। आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड। त्यसपछि हिडन पावर, यो हिडन पावर चाहिँ सबैभन्दा अदृश्य शक्ति, सबैभन्दा पावरफुल हुन्छ। सम्पूर्ण फ्यामिली अथवा स्पाउस अथवा फ्यामिली मेम्बर्स जसले हामी सबैलाई इन्करेज गर्नुभयो र इन्डाइरेक्टली हामीलाई हेल्प गर्नुभयो यो किताब प्रकाशन गरेर यहाँसम्म आइपुग्न, उहाँहरु सबैलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद, मुरी धन्यवाद। प्लस एकदमै हृदयदेखि अन बिहाफ अफ पास्ट एक्जिक्युटिभ कमिटी एन्ड एभ्रीवन I would like to share and express my sincere gratitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, NAPA, and thank you, editorial board.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The loving words and all the nitty-gritties of the history behind this book, and at the same time, how we moved forward from the day one until today. So once again, म चाहिँ के भन्छु भने यदि यो टिममा डाक्टर कार्कीको लिडरशिपमा नहुनु भएको भए सायद हामी म पनि त्यही कुराहरु रिपिट गर्न खोज्छु। यो प्रोजेक्ट नै I don't know whether we could have moved this forward, this project forward, र अहिले यो स्टेजमा आउँथ्यो जस्तो पनि मलाई चाहिँ लाग्दैन। तर यसको यो भन्नुको पछाडी चाहिँ मोहम्मदले गर्नुभयो भन्ने होइन कि हामी भन्दा पछाडी थुप्रै हामीले चाहिँ सपोर्टहरु पाएको छौं सबैजनाको। र यसमा कोही अगाडि बढ्ने, कोही पछाडी बढ्ने भने कसैले बाटो देखाउनु पर्यो, कसैले चाहिँ भारी बोक्नु पर्यो र कसैले पछाडी लट्ठी पनि हान्नु पर्यो। त्यो नगरिकन त कुनै पनि प्रोजेक्ट कम्प्लिसन हुँदैन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हामी यहाँसम्म आइपुगेका छौं। Once again, what I would like to say is this is the teamwork. If we come together, we can make a difference. This is what best example. With this said, thank you, Dr. Aga, Dr. Karki, once again for your leadership, your vision, your support, and your time. Maybe I think even though you are not in this editorial board, you spend that many hours that I cannot just count. That maybe some days I think we did not, and you and me did not sleep, or I mean you did not sleep just because of me and this book. So thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. And thank you so much all the team members. We are almost towards the end of the program. I would like to request current president of NAPA, Dr. Megha Prajuli. He is just not the current president. He was the vice president of NAPA. And he has been with NAPA and with this book project from day zero. I mean, day one or day zero, whatever. So he's with us. अझै पनि अब सायद हाम्रो तर्फबाट हामी त मैले भन्नु पर्दाखेरि दिस इज माई डे 0 टुवर्ड्स द एन्ड अफ द बुक र डाक्टर पराजुलीको चाहिँ डे 1 सुरु भएको छ देन देयर कुड बी सो मेनी अदर प्रोजेक्ट्स डाउन द रोड र उहाँको लिडरसिपमा अझै थुप्रै कामहरू हुन्छन् भन्ने म आशा पनि गर्छु। सँगसँगै डाक्टर पराजुलीलाई मैले चाहिँ हाम्रो वेबसाइटमा राखेको फर्स्ट च्याप्टरको बुक भलुम हजुरको नजिकै छ भने त्यसलाई पनि अनलाइनबाट क्लिक गरेर हामी सबैलाई देखाउँदै हजुरको क्लोजिङ रिमार्क राख्नलाई चाहिँ म रिक्वेस्ट गर्छु। डाक्टर पराजुली प्लिज।
Thank you, Dr. Bhandari, and thank you everyone who is in attendance this morning, this evening, this midnight, depending on the location that you are in. A couple of things before I even begin my formal closing remarks. One, that is Dr. Bhandari emphasized the level of commitment and level of energy Dr. Karki as the head of NAPA for 2 terms invested on this and many other efforts. That's why we are here at the moment celebrating this just a remarkable event that we couldn't even think of such a thing just a few short years ago. The organization was established in 2016. And we were, frankly, I don't know what we were smoking, but we were thinking we'll have a book in 2018. So that's the kind of commitment that was driven by this man. And I simply can't express my personal gratitude to my good friend, my president of executive committee that I had a pleasure of serving 2 terms as his lieutenant, I guess that's what we can say. So, you know, we all can say that it's a teamwork. Of course, it's a teamwork. You know, one person cannot do, and possibly it's just not going to happen. But the leadership does matter. And Dr. Karki, I think your leadership is undeniably so productive for NAPA that NAPA's establishment really was lucky to have you as the leader. And, you know, just kind of heaping the praise for, you know, in front of 80 to 100 people in attendance is not the purpose here. But I want to make sure that all those who are in attendance, who do not know the late nights and weekends and all those hours, all those kind of hours that we burn, that's what we are celebrating today. Thank you. Second, mind you, I have not even begun my formal thing. Second is the link. I'm not all the electronically savvy, but I went ahead and when Dr. Joshi formally launched, I went ahead and clicked, and it's a beautiful 21-page summary link with all the book, you know, front matters, back matters, the table of content, first chapter, everything is in there, and I already clicked. And I urge everyone to go to napaamericas.org and go ahead and click that, and there are pricing structure and everything listed, and there is a nice little summary, 21-page summary for everyone's consumption for free. And one more addition to that is Dr. Karki showed those book stores. How about that? Something is showing there. Maybe I need to share, or are we good?
Please.
Okay. Dr. Karki mentioned book houses in Kathmandu, but you can go and purchase book from there. But you know, we are only talking about 3 to 5 books in those. So there it is. Let's see. You know, go ahead and click on my behalf, Dr. Wagle. There it is. So what I was going to say was those bookstores, you can pick from those, but there are only few books at the present time. So you can simply email to napa2072@gmail.com, request NAPA directly, and we will ensure that you get the book. So I want to make sure that that's also out there. Now, I'll just take a couple of minutes. As current president of NAPA, this is perhaps and I'm being very serious here, this is perhaps the most gratifying professional experience to witness this book launch event this morning. We have had lots of successes, lot of high points or low points or excitement in our professional lives, and this I simply can't believe that when we are talking about establishing NAPA as a professional organization only 4 years ago, and here we are publishing a book, and it's I shouldn't say it's sold out, but there has been so much demand that we are already talking about reprinting. So this, guys, I think as agricultural and allied sciences, natural sciences students and trainers and professionals, we all must take a great pride in what NAPA is meant for. Agricultural transformation in Nepal. I don't have time to talk about all the things NAPA does, but seeing the book publication project's success story this morning, we must admit that I wish we had this organization established many moons ago. I've been we all have been involved in this thing, and we contributed to agricultural sciences in Nepal from our personal capacity for many years. But collective talents, collective wisdom, and a collective effort and team spirit, we badly needed, and we demonstrated that today. With that, a couple of acknowledgement, even though it has been already said, but Dr. Drona Rasali, as the head of this book production or book publication team, editor-in-chief, of course, the leader has to make, move every parts of the components to make it possible. And oftentimes, and it's true, and I'm not bashful of repeating many times that even though there is a leader, but if leader is like me, somebody has to really drive me to make things happen, and that was Dr. Bhandari. I think without Dr. Bhandari, it has been said many times before, but I must also say Dr. Bhandari. I think we could not have this moment this morning without what you did. Okay, NAPA's trust in the project. NAPA, when I say NAPA, it's all membership. Now, 400 members of NAPA. Without their tremendous trust in this book project, trust in executive committee, it could not have been possible. Congratulations, NAPA, for all the members for this trust in this project. Dr. Leela Karki already said, I'm not going to repeat. I guess I would just say simply that what you did for the last two executive sessions, two executive terms, so I can give this speech today as president, okay? So that was remarkable. And we can't simply cite everybody's name, but I want to make sure that I cite my current vice president, Dr. Pradeep Wagle. We are on the same team from day one or day zero, actually day -1, and his name was nowhere to be seen because he was not part of book project, but he worked toe in toe, hand in hand, and even though I'm current president, in disguise, I consider Dr. Wagle as real president here. Thank you, Dr. Wagle, for actually, making me look good or semi-good as president because of you. Thank you. And we'll continue to have this great partnership. And previous two executive committees are thanked and congratulated. and printing house, you know, for all the great work to have this book in the market, and Dr. Nanda Joshi this morning giving this busy Saturday morning time to witness this and really give that book formally to the world. Congratulations to you, sir, and thank you. And I look forward to working with you and seeking your advice during my tour. And I only hope this is the only beginning, and this is only the first book published by NAPA. This is not to celebrate, to call it quit. We are just beginning, and I don't know what is in the stock for NAPA's future in terms of publication. We have a Global Journal of Agriculture and Allied Sciences. You know, you all are familiar with. We will have, I don't know what kinds of other professional publications that we will bring in the future, but the way the NAPA's trajectory is seen here, we are really hopeful that we will serve our scientific community and all our stakeholders through great publications. With that, I thank everyone for attendance this morning and witnessing this wonderful event. And thank you. And I close this today's event with this remark. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President of NAPA, for your very nicely designed closing remarks. With this said, our formal book launch ceremony ends here. तर मैले अलिकति भन्न बिर्सेको चाहिँ के थियो भने मेगा सर, he is not only the current president, he was in the book editorial team. He is a member of the team, and as well as he has also co-authored one chapter in the book. So त्यो चाहिँ मैले भन्न छुटेको पार्ट थियो। यति भन्दै म आजको हाम्रो के अरे नापा प्रेसिडेन्टले अलरेडी क्लोज गरिसक्नु भएको छ। हाम्रो फर्मल सेसन चाहिँ यही एन्ड भएको घोषणा पनि गर्छु। तर हामीसँग केही जिज्ञासाहरू, केही प्रश्नहरू केही छन् भने केही मिनेट हामी छलफल गरौँ। अलरेडी वी हेभ पास्ड आवर कमिटेड टाइम 11:00. Now it's 11:15. I can see a couple of questions here. So if you would really like to hear back us, then we can discuss in an informal setting. But our formal session is over. Thank you once again, all the participants, all the contributors, all the well-wishers for your support and your blessings. Without which we would not be here. And we want to move way far distance than here. So thank you once again. We'd love to hear you, and we'd love to have your support in the days to come. Thank you.